Hi, everybody. Good morning. It's good to see you all face to face. I prepared some notes here, but if you don't know me, I'm Kristen Nichols, and we're regulars at the 1045 service. My husband, Chris, daughter Vivian, and son Andrew make up the rest of our foursome. We've been members here since we moved to Hopkinton in 2012, so it's about 10 years that we've been worshiping here. Like everybody here in this room, we have a COVID story, and overall we were blessed throughout the pandemic to stay healthy and virus-free so far. Aside from a short furlough that I had to take at my company, both my husband and I remained employed and were able to work remote for months and months. I just went back to work in person in late August. When we went into lockdown in March of 2020, we had just begun to tell people that we were expecting a second child. Vivian wasn't even 2 yet. With her daycare no longer being an option, she stayed home while we worked. My obstetrician was caring but serious with her message to me. The medical community did not know much about this virus yet. Locking down as much as possible would help ensure that our son could stay with me after he was born. So our world shrank to just the four of us. 3 on the outside and 1 in utero. Prenatal visits went virtual until I was deep into my last trimester. Chris never even got to see our son on an ultrasound. Workdays stretched way past the 8-hour mark in those early days. I work in higher education and missions marketing. Let's just say everything in my field changed overnight. And a lot of the work fell on my shoulders. Admissions counselors couldn't travel anymore. They couldn't recruit. We had to literally do everything and move all of their work online, and we had myself and 2 other people to manage that. So Vivian's days were filled with Peppa Pig as her caregiver, and Amazon and Walmart dropped off groceries at the front door. With all of this going on, it was pretty normal that we all had that sort of experience, but we lost 2 people very close to us, a dear friend and father of my best friend, and my cousin unexpectedly passed away during this time. So how does St. Mark's tie into our COVID story? Why do we support this faith community, and what does it mean to us? First, Phil provided us with a sense of normalcy in the most simple of ways. His regular emails stating he was praying for our family comforted us so much. And I did hit reply to inform him of those unexpected losses. His response with prayer helped us tremendously. Second, we're big bedtime story readers at our house and became regular attendants of PJ prayers with Father Phil. Vivian would get so excited and each Sunday night, and we would too. We enjoyed seeing Phil and hearing the new stories he had to share. When Andrew was born in July of 2020, we were surprised to see right away a large mark on his eye. Our son's truly 1 in a million. He's born with a large congenital nevus that was undetectable by ultrasound. The first few weeks of his life, he needed an MRI to ensure that there were no abnormalities of his spine or brain. I never knew birthmarks could be tied to brain damage until he was born. Luckily, he's fine. They didn't capture any neurological changes so far, and we continue to monitor him twice a year with his doctors at Mass General, and he's doing just perfectly fine. When it was time to baptize him, obviously we wanted to share that joy with you, and we were unable to do so. And when we arrived here on the Sunday that he was baptized, we were so grateful to see that the Sunshine Club made this beautiful basket for Vivian and Andrew with a caring note to Chris and I. We felt so held. It was so wonderful, and we knew that this community was sharing in our joy from afar. And did I mention that the Sunshine Club also dropped off meals when Andrew was first born? That was a lifesaver. We didn't have any visitors coming to our home after he was born because we were in a pandemic. So all of those people that traditionally help out after a baby was born, besides my mom and my mother-in-law, we really didn't have much. So with us trying to manage a toddler and a baby and driving into Boston for his health care, I didn't have time to think about cooking, and those meals really, really made a big difference. Let's see. Church did look different for us a little bit on Sunday mornings. We turned in virtually, like many of you, through Facebook while we ate pancakes at the kitchen table in our pajamas. Sorry, we weren't in our Sunday finest. One of the funniest family moments happened during one of the services. There was a live stream, and it froze for a minute, and Vivian put her fork down and had a very serious look of concern on her face, and looked straight up at Chris and I and said, "What's wrong with Father Phil?" We talked to Vivian about church so much so she wouldn't forget this place, and she didn't. When the curve flattened a bit last spring, Vivian asked if we could come here. I explained that we could, but that no one would be here, and we could say a quick prayer, and that was fine with her. Noah was gracious enough to open up this beautiful building, and we prayed and marveled at the stained glass, and then I noticed some prayer shawls sitting on one of the pews, and it said, "Please take one for someone in need." I knew someone. My closest childhood friend, the daughter of my mother's best friend, gave birth to a stillborn on the most cruel of days, Mother's Day. I sent her a blanket, and she wrote back a heartfelt response talking about how lovely the shawl was and how grateful she was for the St. Mark's community. Side note, she uses that shawl now as a blanket for her new son, who was born on my birthday in August. Our family remained resilient through all of this because of this place. I truly mean that. That's just the plain and simple truth. When there was so much dark, sorrow, and uncertainty, St. Mark's was our light. That's why we pledged to St. Mark's. We hope you do too. Not only does this community do so much for us, it serves so many within our surrounding towns and beyond. With the online giving portal, it's easier than ever to give. We hope that you'll join us on Consecration Sundays so St. Mark's can continue to be resilient and flourish in order to provide so many with much needed faith in a variety of different ways. Thank you.